Hello everyone! I'm working hard to give you guys content more often, so I'm back to discuss a group that has really seen a decrease in music quality, and I want to look further into what really happened. But before we start today's video, I want to remind you guys that I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe to my channel, it would mean the world to me. So stayc is a K-pop girl group formed under Higher Up Entertainment. Formed in 2020, they debuted with a single titled So Bad, which did very well for a group from an unknown company. It garnered around 42 million streams after being released. They then went on to release another single titled ASAP, which garnered the attention from lots of Koreans, and many other idols even participated in the dance challenges of their new single ASAP, which further pushed them up the Korean charts. stayc then went on to release their first EP with a title track named Stereotype, and this ended up being their biggest hit by far, with over 80 million YouTube views and 128 million streams. This song also got stayc their first win on a music show, and really left a mark on the year of 2022 for K-pop as one of the best girl group releases that year, and is also when I started getting into them. The future of stayc looked very bright, as they were seemingly a classic rags to riches story. People anticipated their future releases and schedules. stayc then went on to release their last international hit, titled Run to You, which was the title track from their flawless mini-album called YoungLove.com, which is honestly Nugu music perfection in my opinion. This was probably one of stayc's biggest international hits, along with Stereotype. It garnered 7 wins within stayc's promotional period. The song reached a peak of number 4 on the Melon 100, garnering 200 million points on the platform in under a month. However, the song didn't only do good domestically, as I stated earlier, it also charted in the top 20 of Spotify's global K-pop chart and acquired 100 million streams within the first year, which is insane for Nugu rookies. This was a complete shock for the K-pop industry because stayc was becoming monster rookies despite coming from nothing. Just as stayc seemed to have solidified themselves as a force to be reckoned with among the rookie K-pop girl groups, they geared up to release another single titled Beautiful Monster, which left fans highly anticipating their return with what we thought would be another smash hit. But then upon releasing it, it ended up not doing very well, which even shocked the members because they thought this would be their biggest song yet. Unfortunately, I just think the song wasn't that good. And in that summer, Les Rafim and New Jeans, which are 2 groups from Hybe with amazing music, debuted, which kind of overshadowed Beautiful Monster, because it wasn't quite the refreshing concept that New Jeans introduced to the industry and made very popular. After having this failed comeback, stayc waited a few more months to come back with another single titled Teddy Bear, which ended up being their best performing song in Korea and garnered over 10 music show wins. It was their highest charting song on the Melon Top 100. The girls even got paid $147,000 each during Teddy Bear's promotional period. However, internationally, it seems stayc had fell short once again. Fast forward to the end of 2023, stayc released an EP with a title track called Bubble, which also did decently in Korea. It garnered 40 million views on YouTube and peaked at number 3 on the Melon Top 100 chart. Just like stayc's other release that year, however, globally Bubble tanked immensely, and stayc stans all agreed that it wasn't one of their best songs. However, they still secured a few wins for it, and that brings us to this year, where they released their first full-length album with the title track Cheeky Icy Thang. And if I'm being completely honest, this song was awful in my opinion, and it definitely showed in the charts, as it failed to climb the Melon charts and did awfully on Spotify, and is still currently only at 7 million streams, which is abnormally low compared to their other music. Recently, stayc has announced that they're having a comeback this month, and I just want to talk about some things they can do to rekindle the nostalgic flame that their old music was able to spark in 2021 and 2022. So for starters, I think the main issue with their last comeback was that they chose the wrong song to be the title track. Many people didn't enjoy Cheeky Icy Thing because truthfully, it doesn't feel like stayc. We're used to hearing impressive vocals and melodies that stick in your head for a long time. However, Cheeky Icy Thing was forgettable and honestly sounded like a song that you'd give to a group that can't sing, and stayc is the farthest thing from that. If I were in charge of stayc, I would have made their B-side titled One Thing the title track, because it still has the dance and techno-pop vibe that stayc was trying to emulate, but it honestly sounds much better, and the chorus is much easier to digest and get stuck in your head. It almost reminds me of something Twice would release in their early days and would probably do really well with, so I think that having that song as a title track would attract international and Korean attention. I also think that stayc should have included a pre-release on this album. I know that it's a super common thing right now in the K-pop industry, and I love that stayc stays original and true to themselves. However, I think that a pre-release would have helped build more anticipation for the album, because there seemed to be no hype for the album leading up to it. And since it is a full album, it wouldn't hurt to put out one track as a pre-release. I believe that their B-side titled Find should have been the pre-release for this album, because it just gives off that fresh and new concept that people have been craving ever since New Jeans and Eyelets debuts. The hook is very strong and the song is on the shorter end, so it leaves the listeners wanting to listen again and again. I think that if they would have put this song as a pre-release and had One Thing as the title track, they could have had something similar to aespa, where the pre-release keeps their fans interested in the official title track, like aespa did with Supernova, which eventually led to hype around their actual title track called Armageddon. The next thing I think stayc did wrong with this comeback is the lack of overall promotion. Since it's their first full-length album, it's a really big deal because full albums are only given to groups with a legacy or impact on the industry, which is interesting because they didn't even do the bare minimum, like perform their title track on its live, which is something that groups do very often, and pushes people to check out a group because they get a chance to see how vocally talented they are. I also think they should have set up more thoughtful and on-theme collaborations that fit the concept. The first thing that went to my mind when I saw the title of Cheeky Icy Thing was Ice Cream. And since it is a summer comeback, I think this would have been the perfect opportunity to collaborate with a popular ice cream brand in Korea, because all summer long the kids and teenagers in Korea will associate stayc with whatever the most popular ice cream brand is in Korea. I also think they could have done something like dressing up as different ice creams for one of their promotional stages, which would set them apart from the other competitors that released in the summer, like Kiss of Life, Baby Monster, and even Red Velvet. Another thing I would have done to help the success of stayc's last album is have them perform at Waterbomb in Seoul, South Korea, because we saw how much it helped Kiss of Life with their summer comeback. I also would encourage stayc to collaborate with summer clothing brands and to wear the brand's clothing during their promotional period, because it would leave their Korean fans itching to buy the same outfit as them and would draw their fans to their music in the end. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of today's video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also leave a comment telling me some things you would do to help stayc's brand reputation and help with their upcoming comeback. And please let me know what groups I should discuss next.